But you're on camera.
What's up, guys? Ready for the Bible stuff? Okay, so my name is Father and Son of the Holy Spirit. So, like Sai said, my name is Mena from America. And it's a really cool view, you guys. You guys are a really cool church, and you had some great barbecue. Thank you. And some great truffles. It was wonderful. So I'm learning. I mess up the basic, like when I was in Canada, I called everything a Providence, and it's a province. You're like, you sound stupid. So it's trifles. Trifles?
Yeah.
Now we learn something new every day. And that goes actually, so I was actually learning a couple of different, I learned a couple of English words. Some of them I'm not sure if they're real words, some of them are fake. Like Leggy taught me kefeffel. You guys say kefeffel? Falafel. Like when something's really falafel, and then it becomes kefeffel. That's what it means. Right, put cheese on it. No, so I'm just joking. So, but actually, it's somehow related to the topic, I promise. What I want to talk to you guys about today is another British word. The title of today's talk, I hope this is not like inappropriate. If it is, just don't tell nobody. Is God's longness. You guys say that? Like when something is like bare long? Right? I'm practicing. It's like God is like longing me out. But like, you guys say stuff like that, right? Like, you know, bare, like longing out my life or something. Like, all kinds of weird uses of it. And we're gonna go through a story real quick, and we're gonna go through some things in the book of Luke. If you have Bibles, if not, then you know I will kill your service. It's okay if you don't have Bible, we're not going to go through the whole thing. I'll just tell you the highlights. Maybe you know the story. So it takes place in Luke 5 if you're ever interested in hearing it out. Basically, you guys know how the disciples, the 12 dudes up there, their job, they were all, of course, doctors and pharmacists. No, they weren't Egyptians. They didn't have that stuff going on at the time. They used to do what? They were fishermen. They used to catch fish, which is, of course, a glamorous position. You have to do really well on your A-levels, really well on your uni stuff, and then become a graduate fish catcher, fisherman. No, it was a whatever job. And one time, Jesus was not a fisherman. Right? His job was also very glamorous. He used to make stuff like this, awesome pews. He was a carpenter. In Luke 5, there's one of these stories where basically St. Peter, one of the chief, fisher dudes, they're out and they're going there and they're trying to fish. They're trying to get some fish. They're working really hard, putting a lot of effort to get a result. And there's a cool verse in Luke 5 where you might maybe relate to if you kind of think about it for a second. Luke 5, it says in 5:5 actually. If you're Egyptian, that means stay away evil. Jealousy. Don't worry about it if you don't know. It says, Master, we have toiled all night and caught nothing. Nevertheless, at your word, I will let down your net. Have you ever felt this way? If you already missed the reference, well, it's okay. We're going to go through more references, so don't worry. But that was Luke 5:5. Okay, yeah. Sunday school. Have you ever felt like this, where it's Luke 5:5? Maybe we'll go through it one more time, just because everyone's like, feels studious. I have to know. Otherwise, I might get tested on it later. Mina will ask me, and I won't know. I won't be encouraged. Yes! Encouraged my faith and my Bible. Okay, so it says the following. St. Peter just looks at Jesus and says, look, Jesus, I've been trying for so long, and nothing has happened. You are longing me out, man. You are bare long. New British translation. I don't know if you've ever felt that way. Have you ever felt like you come to a 2-day Croydon spiritual day? You go to Revive 2012 and Sweden 2017 and this spiritual day and liturgy and Tisbeha and And then you come to Jesus and say, Jesus, I've been laboring all day and I got nothing. Jesus, I'm trying, man. I read the Bible in English, okay? And it's bad. Coptic. I read the Ekbate in Arabic. Like, I'm trying to do the whole thing. All different languages, covering it all. And then you labor all day, you labor all night at some point. You try, you're putting in the right kind of work. And then you just come to God and you're like, how come nothing changes? How come I'm not saved yet? How come like I'm doing the right stuff? You're still mad Coptic. You're still like bad Coptic, right? You're still doing all the Coptic ingredients. And for Mr. Peter, he's a pro, okay? He's like a veteran Copt. He's someone that you would think has gone through multiple conventions, multiple retreats, multiple spiritual days, confessions, the whole bit. He's a professional. And then comes to Jesus and says, Jesus, come on, man. Why isn't it working? Have you ever felt this way? Have you ever felt like your spiritual life, you feel like you should be growing, but you're not. You feel like you should move the Bible, but you don't. You feel like you should be changing, but you ain't. You feel like something should be happening, but it ain't happening. And then you come to like a nice fork in the road. Then you have two choices of what you can do. We were going to have a little discussion about it in the kitchen out there. Is when you have like this split where things that are not going the way they're supposed to. God bless you. One option, which I often do, is I figure, okay, then the thing is bad. Whatever it is I'm trying to do is bad. Problem is, the Bible is boring. Problem is, liturgy is in Spanish. Like it just seems like it's a different language, you know? Problem is, whatever. The problem is the thing. That's one reaction maybe that we have. But then Jesus comes and gives maybe a different little reaction that we're going to read in actually 5:4, Luke 5:4. He says this thing to Peter. He says, look, Peter, launch out into the deep and let down your nets for a catch. You know there's going to be some metaphorical situation going on here. Here's the problem initially with what Jesus said. Launching out into the deep is bad fishing advice. Okay, it's just weird because you're not supposed to go out to the deep. You're supposed to go a little bit closer to the shallow thing. From my previous fishing experience, that's what they always told me as a fisherman. Maybe I should backtrack and tell you actually my previous experience. That might help. I'm not a fisherman, so maybe I fooled some of you with the fisher net that I came in with. So I'm actually, in America, I'm actually a doctor, right? Weird, I don't know how they let me do that. They don't let me do it for too long. So I'm a doctor, but about a year ago I left medicine to do full-time mission and evangelism work in the church. So that's what I've been doing. My job is two things. Is to help the church, the Coptic church, you guys, mostly in North America, but for the first time now in Europe, try to identify the people that are not Egyptian, but also could use God. Go figure. Maybe there's some benefit to them also knowing God. God is not just Egyptian. He likes Molchev from so far, but he's not exclusively Egyptian. I don't know if you ever listened, but that's one part of my job, is to try to help the church identify people that don't really get to hear about God. Maybe someone, for us in North America, it's people maybe who are a particular culture, someone who's like so Arab, they live in a neighborhood maybe that like, it's like so Arab, that like, you know, the writing on the stores is Arabic, the stores are just hijab store, mosque, hijab store, mosque, hijab store, mosque, like those kind of neighborhoods. I don't know if you guys have those here. Or a neighborhood that's so gangster that like you wouldn't walk around in it, because if you walked around, like you might just catch a bullet in the nose, like it's just that kind of, you guys can imagine those places. I mean, you've seen it on TV or something at least. Or maybe it's not so dangerous, not so crazy, it's an average neighborhood, but we don't really share our faith to begin with. You know, we, for whatever reason, have all these kind of strange ideas about what it means to be an Orthodox Christian, sharing your faith. One of the cool things actually in America is, as we've begun to rediscover our heritage of like Orthodox Christians sharing our faith, all the other churches are like, whoa, where you guys been? You could use your help. And we're like, yeah. We just kind of been hanging out in Egypt for a while. But we back. You know, now we're all over the world. If you go, when we were in EYC, there were all these countries like all over Europe doing big things. So anyway, that's the tangent. That's part of the work that I'm doing here in Europe, and that's some of the things I want to share with you even in our little discussion here. Because what would be nice if we share some words from the Bible and we say, wow, the Bible's great. Is there barbecue later, or are we having, you know, oh man, wow, spiritualness. where are the trifles? But ideally what we want to do is we want to be able to tackle, there are two things that we want to tackle in our sit together here. One, I'll be honest with you, maybe your servants might not like this, because they ratted you out hard, okay? They told me what the obvious problems in the group dynamic is. So we're going to talk about that for a second. Yeah, that's right. No, I don't know, I'm good. Who's that kid? The second thing is we want to be able to see the solution there, but maybe not by looking at it directly, but by looking at something else. Maybe by a system that God has ordained for us to tackle these things. I know it's a little bit abstract right now. I just want to give you at least a setup of what we're talking. Going back to the words of Jesus. So Jesus said this thing, Luke 5, verse 4. Anyone read it?
So is it the one that you just said?
Yeah, it's the one I just said. Launch out into the deep and you're going to catch some fish. The reason why it's important is this. One of the problems that we have as Orthodox people, or as young Christian people in general, is that we, like we're saying, when we come across this question of God, like we're approaching God and it's not the right thing that's happening, we kind of ignore the advice of Jesus of launching out into the deep. We're saying, let's stay on the surface of things and keep doing the surface, and wonder why it doesn't work. I'll give you an example. For me, when I was in uni, I had a couple of roommates who were like side. Okay, I don't know if you guys know what side are. Do you have those?
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, Polish people. I don't know like who you make fun of in the mirror. They're like, honorary side. So from So one little experiment that we had on my side of roommates, we were trying to move out of our flat, of our apartment. And we had this ginormous couch. Okay? And we figured the best way to move the ginormous couch out of the apartment is through the door. But it didn't work. Okay? And we were there maybe for 2 hours, and they're all named Mena. Okay, so it's me, it's Mena. Like how many minutes does it take to move a couch out of the flat? So it wasn't a good look. But because they're so side, I'm like, guys, it's been 2 hours, forget about it, it's not gonna work. No, we have to do it, man. Boom. No, it's not gonna work. Just keep doing it, And then one super Saidi guy, Mena the third, he's like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get the couch out of the balcony. This guy's also on this. Okay, we're gonna somehow bend from the balcony into the street. This is a true story. I'm not even making it up. I wish I was making it up. So now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're caught with the couch dangling from the balcony, and we have to call reinforcements of like people who are not named Mena and stuff like that. Anyone that's not Saidi, please help us bring the couch out of the balcony and all that. Moral of the story. In the side, the Mena story, is that maybe the door thing isn't working, maybe the surface level thing of approaching God isn't working, maybe we have to look a little bit deeper and to see what Christ is telling us, not into something different, but I'll tell you for me, one of the things that's made a big difference in my life as a Christian is not changing the stuff, but understanding the depth in the stuff. I'll tell you one of the things, depth in the stuff, that Christ has made a big deal for me. In Matthew 25, right? You guys know that passage? Maybe we'll flip to it. Everyone's like really good at flipping things. On top of their game.
We just did this time.
Did you? So you guys can tell me, you know the last bit, about the judgment bit. Do you guys know that part? Or you haven't?
Yeah, but you don't know what hour or day.
Okay, there's that part. The bit though, I'll tell you the verse.
That's the first.
Oh, you're doing the second part. Oh, that's good. Maybe God was studying up with the first part, so we can do the second part here. The second part, I'll just tell it to you, and it's towards the end of the chapter. Basically summary, because there's a lot of verses. It's Judgment Day. Judgment Day is going down. And then God says, check it out. You're coming in, you guys on the right side, you guys on the left, you're going down south, taking a little vacation, where it's a little bit warmer than the rest of us here. And people ask him, like, okay, what was it? What did I do? Like, what happened? What deep spiritual thing did I do that helped me get to this good side, the right side? And you see the verses maybe there where it tells you what happened, what they did? Any guesses? Any clues? Huh?
What was it again? Matthew 25.
It's Matthew 25. Which parable? The virgins.
The sheep and the goats.
Yeah, we know the virgins.
Yeah, The sheep and the
Yeah, sheep and the goats one.
the end of it.
Do the sheep on the other side.